Yeah, bro, it's been a minute, dog.
No, man. It's been a minute since we afternoon kicked, man.
Normally, we hit the Friday,
Yep.
but back to Wednesdays now, dog. I like this. Hold on, let me
Hey, it is hashtag NFL Go Nuts Wednesday. There are a lot of things happening, so it's a good day to get back going.
bro, they going crazy, bro. Like they really like the NFL is really a 12-month a year sport, dog. Like it's
Yeah.
just and they find a way, like them hoes, man. They find a way just to keep themselves in the media, bro.
Yeah,
Like
they see Luka and LeBron getting chemistry. They're like, nah, we need to get back out here. The combine finish. We need to keep them talking about us, man.
they're like, who want to trade? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody be there for trade. Hey, chat, what's up, man? Pull up, chat. Yeah, he been man. I'm like, who they blowing the dust off this YouTube page? I'm like, who is this? I haven't seen these two guys together in the new year. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, it's all good. But Rio, we it's been a minute. We gotta catch up the audience on a whole lot of stuff, man.
Might as well, man. Play the music on them.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the afternoon king. It's your man Darian DH Williams with my partner in crime, Rio Robinson. Rio, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Long time no talk, man. How we living over there?
Hey, man, living beautifully, bro. Like having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? Just really settling in to the new 2025 season, getting over how last year ended. Ended 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl appearance. Rio, that's still weird to talk about now, bro.
It is. I actually garnered up the courage a couple days ago, right after my children left. I said, you know what? I'm going to rewatch the NFC Championship game. And I watched it from first second to the last second again. And
Why would you torture yourself, bro?
because it got me juiced up, man. It got me like, despite how bad we got our asses kicked in that day, bro, our quarterback was so ready for all smoke. We had like 4 golden opportunities to be in that game late, and they all happened because of 5, man. But I'm ready. We're 5 days away from the tampering period and free agency beginning. Lots of movement NFL wise, and we done made us a trade for a starting receiver since we've last spoke. So it's a good time to talk football.
So much to get into, Rio. But of course, before we do that, man, make sure you guys like and subscribe this page. I know it's been a minute, but we about to get right back in the mix with every Wednesday on Afternoon Kick. Got so many guests lined up coming down the pipeline to give you the latest and greatest on your Washington Commanders. Combine just happened. Trades are happening. Things are changing in the league. So make sure you like, subscribe right here so that you'll know everything that's going on. And while you're here, you already know that you can subscribe to Rio's page, Rambling with Rio.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you like and subscribe everywhere. And everybody that's affiliated with us, man, make sure y'all love and subscribe. And then share it with your friends. So right now, stop what you're doing. Go ahead, hit that arrow and share it out. Let everybody know that you're watching us right now live as we go live for your driving afternoon kick. It's 5:04 p.m. on the East Coast. Rio, let's get into it. Let's first talk about, man,
Active.
big trade happened.
Mhm.
We now is it safe to say we have a number 2 receiver in Deebo Samuel?
For sure. We have another weapon to add to the wide receiver room, a known commodity league wide, and we have Yak. We finally have a yards after catch component to this offense. Deebo Samuel is a Washington Commander.
Yes, he is, man. I was excited to see it. I wasn't surprised because one of our colleagues, and I call him a colleague because we talk all the time, Lake Lewis had been on this. Lake had said that it was gonna happen. He said, well, he didn't say for sure it was gonna happen, but he said, hey, it's a high possibility. And then we kind of heard rumors of Deebo coming to us for a 5th-round pick. Is that correct? A 5th-round pick? That gotta be it's gotta be a steal, right?
Oh, 5th-round pick. That's what's up. Like, we're doing good business now. The Cowboys traded a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo, and we got a 3rd-rounder for Jahan Dotson. So a 5th-rounder for a guy that is coming into a contract season that $17 million against the cap. That ain't nothing for us, man. Ain't nothing at all. And he does not stop us from continuing to add to the room. I love it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take anything that's an upgrade. I wasn't someone who was saying, let's go run out and get Deebo Samuels, but this is a clear upgrade to the room. We clearly got someone with that. We finally have someone on the roster that's a playmaker with the ball in his hands. And I think we're going to get the most motivated Deebo we've seen in some time, because we know how things went awry in San Francisco.
That's a great point that you mentioned. I wanted to bring that up. For a 5th-round pick, I mean, he's definitely an approve it year, right? He's going to come in and say, hey, I need to show to the league that if it's not going to be here with the Commanders, it's going to be somewhere around the league, and I will be able to garner that next contract, that next big deal. And he plays well. We get to reap the benefits of that by, just adding onto the room and ascending. And I think Adam Peters and crew saw that the wide receiver room was a glaring deficiency last year, regardless of who you had there. After Terry McLaurin, it was, me and you could have been the second and third receiver.
Pretty much was.
Yeah. My guy too, because I love my guy Diami. But the wide receiver room had left a whole lot to be desired. So the Commanders going out early, making it known that, hey, we need to get better. And don't you just love the fact that the team who was one game away from the Super Bowl is already making a conscious effort to get better and to build that team again around Jayden Daniels. I love to see that, Rio.
Like the words of the great Kobe Bean Bryant, rest his soul: jobs not finished, jobs not done, jobs not finished. You got close. You do not be content or complacent with the fact that in year one you made it to the NFC Championship. We want to play that additional week. We want to have that week in between and play during Super Bowl weekend, and we know what it takes to get there. We saw that Philadelphia Eagle team. They not going nowhere. They just extended their linebacker, Zach Bond, today, but that team isn't going nowhere. So we got some catching up to do. Let's get after it. Let's get active. No sitting on our hands. Adam Peters brings someone he knows, someone he scouted, drafted, and he saw his career year a couple years ago back in 2021 when he was an all-pro player, still under 30 years old. Get him in the building, and you got an offensive coordinator who runs a system where there's a lot of positionless type football being played. If you get this guy out in space and you get him in the option game with our quarterback, Jayden Daniels, there's magic that can be made in this offense with that guy. So ultimately, I'm good with it.
No, I love that too. And of course, the chat is chiming in. Shout out to Paul. The bar is set. Playoffs is the floor. Definitely, they set the bar really high. This team did.
Absolutely.
And I think they have to build off that. Now, to this point, Rio, we talked about Deebo Samuel getting traded here. Today in NFL news, it is announced that DK Metcalf has announced that he would like a trade. With that being said, the Hawk TV said, now that the dust has settled on Deebo Samuel's now in Washington, would you have waited to make a move for DK Metcalf over Deebo? Rio, what say you?
It's a tricky conversation. DK Metcalf is definitely the better wide receiver of the two, and definitely more suitable to be either your 1B or your number 2 receiver. But it's a trickier situation with DK. He's going to have a much more robust market than Deebo Samuel. A lot of teams are going to be in on this. I would imagine they want to ship him out the NFC, but not to mention DK wants a contract extension in hand with whatever team does trade for him. He wants some money, and I think he wants some money right now. I'm not thinking he's of the mindset of Deebo, which is I'll play it out and earn the new contract. DK want that money right now, and somebody out there gonna give it to him.
Oh yeah, they will. He said straight cash, homie. He definitely want that bread. Shout out to my man, John. John, what up, bro? I see you watching, man. Appreciate you for locking in. Scoop is back. Say that. This is my nickname, dog. When I be breaking stories, man. Scoop Bosa back in the building. But I think with that point that was made about DK Metcalf, why can't DK come here? Why can't we get both?
He can. I mean, he still can. He technically can. I'm not sure we're going there. I would do it. It feels very Madden fantasy football-esque, because we would be reuniting the 2019 draft class Avengers, because Deebo, DK, Terry, AJ Brown, all of them are from the same draft class. So you would be uniting them all. Back-to-back trades for wide receivers. That's not really something you see much in this league. I wouldn't hate it, but I'm just saying I don't think it's very likely. But you never know.
Hey man, if it could get done, it can get done. But I think, man, like you said, there is a market for DK because
Oh, for
it was
sure.
reported earlier that this free agency market for wide receivers is going to be slim, right? So I can see teams really overspending and reaching for a guy like DK Metcalf, who is a legitimate one, who is can be a superstar in this league with the right quarterback. You got to think he's played with Geno, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. And Russell. You know what I mean? Imagine he gets with a real, true passing type quarterback that's going to eye him, that's going to really use him
Yep.
like the one. I think he wants to get out of there and get into that situation. So, hey, wherever he goes, it's going to be somewhere to watch. And then it's going to be a big move for him. Him coming here would be, like you said, very Madden-esque. I don't know if I see that happening, but
Hey,
hey, anything can happen with this organization, as
I,
you saw last year.
I'll tell you this: the Chargers and the Patriots are going to be willing to
Yeah, they
deal
are.
extremities. They're going to be they're going to be ready to deal arms, legs, and organs for DK. So be ready to pony up whatever it takes because the Patriots and the Chargers are coming.
And especially with the Patriots now saying, hey, they're willing to do whatever they need to get a Drake May a number one wide receiver because he's gonna need that right in that offense, and they're gonna need that going forward. And listen, I think what Paul is stating that Christian Kirk or Westbrook Akine might be our next moves in free agency. I think that's a very good, serviceable tool, and you can use Deebo kind of in that slot or that, you know, that utility role wherever on the field, whether it's running the ball, whether it's out of the backfield, wherever you have them. But I think there is going to be a concerted effort to get more playmakers on the edges at wide receiver. So, you know, you have the ability to do a whole lot more with Jayden Daniels in the wide receiver game. I also expect for something to happen with the running back room. They're gonna address that running back room. I've been seeing a lot of graphics that have been putting Brian Robinson on the graphics.
With the
Yeah,
nucleus of the offense.
sir.
Bless them.
Sir. You know what? And I'm not even gonna clown him. Like I actually like him as a dude. I
We
think he's a
all
tough guy.
Brian Robinson,
Yeah,
you know, and
but he's
sometimes
not. But he's not a one. I think in
yeah.
a. I think, but it's okay. He's not Saquon, and there isn't that many Saquons. But this is a two back offense, bro. Like we need to have a thunder and lightning. We
And
need
we
to.
and I think we got the two. We need the one.
Right.
You know,
So by getting somebody to compliment him will be perfect for us. But man, look, I mean, the Peters is definitely doing what they got to do on offense to get playmakers in here, and that definitely gave me the green light to say, hey, we understand it's a arms race to beat Philly, and we gotta build off of what we did last year because really, man, that's last year was a dream. When I look back, I watched the Jaden Daniels video they posted
the
where they
story of
just talked
the
about,
season of
yeah,
Jayden, the season of Jayden.
it was remarkable, dog. Like, first of all, shout out to the Commanders for doing some excellent content.
Content team killing
They
it.
they killing it. 5:13 p.m. on the East Coast, Wednesday, March the 5th. You're watching the afternoon kick with Rio Robinson and Darian DH Williams. But the story of Jayden Daniels last year was crazy. How he just ascended and how he just played so well. And you just think, man, somebody is able to do that with the pretty much pedestrian talent around
Very
him.
limited resources, I would say.
I mean, to be able to make something out of nothing, like, is amazing. And you saw the one thing they were able to do that Terry is now in line for an extension to make him one of the top tier wide receivers. What's up, man? I love that for Terry, bro. He's gonna retire. He has to retire here as a Commander, bro. None of that going anywhere else, bro. He's here, bro. He's gonna stay.
Newly married Terry McLaurin, and he gonna get him
Yeah.
some change this offseason. We gonna go ahead and bust up that contract and give him some more money on the top end.
You said some chains and some cheeks, huh? No,
Look, hey, I don't know, man. Hopefully, he's still getting them. You know,
right,
they say those that don't happen no more once you give. No, I'm just kidding.
right.
But
I know.
the offseason, Terry living it right now. He living the dream.
Oh yeah, man, he's doing it, and he's one of the guys that has earned it, man. A true commander in every sense of the word, and you saw that a lot last year with the content they were putting out. Is that, man? I didn't know Terry was that vocal, bro. Like him just being the way that he's been. Like I love that for Jayden Daniels, because you have a veteran guy like that who really wants to put up the fight. Like Terry really wants to put up the fight for the squad, and I love to see that. So I'm definitely excited to see what's going on the offensive side of the football. And as we go from the offense to the defense, last week it was also reported that Jonathan Allen has requested a trade. Give me your initial thoughts about J.A. essentially asking to be out of Washington.
I thought it was interesting coming from his side. I think it should be a mutual parting of waves. And I wish we could get something for him. I think the inevitable writing on the wall is that we're going to have to release him, and we're going to get our 16 million in cap release, and he's going to be going on his way for nothing, for no compensation. That's where we're headed.
I had spoke last week with my man Wiley on All Burgundy Go Everything. We talked about Jonathan Allen, and basically the thing was, it was that you hope you can get something for him. It would be love if you could get a fifth for him, because at this point you already saw it was wearing thin. You already saw that he possibly wouldn't be here. So at this point, you want to be able to get something for him. I was thinking, what if this is something that could go in the Myles Garrett deal? You think that's a possibility?
It's also possible. I want something, man. I want something back for Jonathan Allen.
Get rid of for free.
Yeah, but that's where we're headed, though. That's where we're headed. So if that's the case, rip the Band-Aid off and let's move on. But hey, you were a great Washington Redskin football team commander, man. I wish you the best going forward, man.
Yeah, I agree, and I think him being recently hurt. And also, I mean, think about it like this, Rio. Let's get in our Wayback Machine and think about it. Remember when the story came out that he had to be convinced to stay here when Dan Quinn got hired, and because he was the one at the end of the Ron Rivera era that was talking big talk, like he's better than this, and that he was talking like Myles Garrett is talking, like, I don't want to waste my years on this organization, and do I even want to be here? And he was able to be convinced back into the role that he was in. Got hurt, came back early, so kudos to him. But I mean, I think the writing has been on the wall that he was on the way out, man.
Yeah, it's been on the wall for a little bit, and I thought it was surprising a little bit hearing that it was him and his people speaking up for it and not like Adam Peters and company. But it definitely just feels like it's time. We can't be paying 2 defensive tackles premium money while we took one in the second round and getting gashed in the running game like that. Yeah. Like, that's putting too much into one position to still be getting trampled on Sunday. So Jonathan Allen's going to have to be, it's not a scapegoat, but we need more.
Yeah. And I think to your point where we saw the writing on the wall, I think maybe he just saw the writing on the wall and said, let me get ahead of this and get in front of this to have an opportunity to kind of see if I can get to where I want to go. Because the tide is changing. You drafted Johnny Newton last year. Deron Payne, in my opinion, is stepping up as the one. So, I mean, it may not be a position for him. And this is the one thing about some of these guys that sign, 4 or 5 year contracts, is that maybe by year 3, they're not playing to that ability, or the welcome has worn out. So you get into this spot where, okay, there's no more guaranteed money left. And now you're trying to get some more guaranteed money as the player. And then the team is like, they essentially have the out. So while you still have him, I think he'll have no problem with signing somewhere if he gets cut. You definitely would like to get something out of the deal.
You'll have a market for sure.
Definitely. But if you can get a 5-6 round pick, something at this point, just to get it.
Can I get a pick swap? Can I get a pick swap?
Something, bro. Something. But I mean, it looks like he's not going to be here. But with that being said, we did mention Myles Garrett earlier. As you're watching the Afternoon Kick live for your drive, 519 on the East Coast on a Wednesday, back to Wednesday. We talked about Myles Garrett earlier, and that was the big thing in the Super Bowl. They were talking. He was on Media Row. He wants to be traded from Cleveland, and Cleveland is saying, we're not trading you, bro. First of all, give me your perspective from Cleveland's point of view, and then from Myles' point of view. Give me Cleveland first, because, like, bro, how can you? I mean, I know they don't want to trade him, but at this point, bro, he's done everything you asked him to do, and you're clearly going backwards. Like, why not trade him away and get a haul and move on?
They got to trade him at some point. They don't have to accept it right now. They don't have to accept it. They can play hard to get. They can go to the bar and hang out with their friend, man. She leaving me, man. I can't let her go. Ultimately, you got to let her spread her wings, man. You can't fight an unwinnable battle. And on Myles Garrett's part, He's single, doubled, and tripled down on the fact that he don't want to be there. We all saw him put it on wax in that Shakespearean-style trade request where he put it in bold. I will be requesting a trade from the Cleveland Browns franchise. We're talking about the best defensive player in the NFL, the best edge rusher in the NFL. Nobody would want to trade him. He doesn't want to hang around and be a part of another boo-boo ass rebuild. He wants to spread his wing. He wants a chance to play and compete for a championship while he still has superhero ability. He's 29 years old. He's still smack dab in the middle of his prime, and he's tired of wasting effort, hard work, and his ability to play for a bad football team. You got to go proactively take your career in your own hands. Once they reach the 5 steps of the of grief, after they get to acceptance, they're going to realize we got to trade this guy. And it would be stupid to me to do it after the draft. Do it while you can add stuff for this year going forward, man. You want to get your haul, get your picks in before the draft. They'll eventually come around and they're going to trade him.
Especially if you plan on drafting a quarterback this year. Why not get your quarterback and be able to get some key pieces for him in this draft class by getting rid of Myles Garrett? Look, man, I think the one thing about reality, right, is that sometimes, like you said, you just have to accept what you are. You are a bad organization that signed Deshaun Watson for way too much money. And then, and at no fault, I mean, he still ended up getting hurt. He was playing bad football and then he got hurt, right? So now you have to understand what you are. You have set your franchise back. It should be a fire sale, and they should actually go through an actual process of trying to rebuild. That is taking your top end talent and moving on from them to get assets back, especially guys that don't want to play here. And then on top of that, man, Myles Garrett has been a model citizen for Cleveland. He's been nominated for the Man of the Year. He's great in the community. He says and does all the right things. I mean, he's just not a winner on your squad, and that's not his fault because he's won Defensive Player of the Year. He's been one of the top players in the league. He's been in the top 100. I mean, in the top 10. Like, he is a great player, and at some point, you have to realize that, hey, we didn't do him a great service. If we're able to get somebody like him again, we have to do better. But you have to move on. And like you said, you can play hardball all you want, but not letting teams know that you're open for business, I think is just only hurting yourself. I don't know whether they're waiting for the last minute to see if somebody's going to come up higher or they're trying to play hardball, but something about that tells me that Cleveland doesn't know how to negotiate well either. The same way they don't know how to build their roster is telling me that they don't know how to negotiate properly.
They're suffering from the optics of trying to win the breakup. Instead of doing what's right for both parties to move on amicably, they're trying to win the breakup within their friends, the public eye, and all of that good stuff. They're trying to win the breakup. Ultimately, they're going to have to trade this guy. They're going to get a good bunch for him. Nobody wants to trade the best defensive player in the league, but sometimes it be like that. Coming off of a runner-up defensive player of the year season and the defensive player of the year before that, he is everything to the Cleveland Browns. Well, it's time to start over, buddy. So let us know when you can pick up. Let us know when you're taking calls so we can actually start negotiating.
Rio, the thing about sports, and I think the thing about people in general, right? Fans are going to be frustrated regardless. And if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, this is not going to deter you from being a Cleveland Brown fan, right? Because you've been through worse and you've seen worse.
LeBron has left twice. Like, y'all be all right.
and he's still balling in LA, which is crazy. That's another podcast for another day. But you look at the fact that this is the opportunity as a front office to get in front of some things and say, hey, look, guys, we have not done our fans a service. We have a great competitor like Myles Garrett in our building, and we're not able to maximize his talent while he's been here. We are in a rebuilding state, but we ask that you hang on and hang tough with us like you've been doing for your entire lives. And just know that the haul that we're getting back, we're going to invest our time, energy, and effort to get the guys in the room that can help us win. Myles was one of those guys, but at the helm, we did not have the proper pieces in place. So we're working to try to resolve and try to rectify that. As a fan, that would get me back on board. I would still be upset that Myles is gone, but you look at what you get back from him. Them not them not wanting to do business is only going to hurt themselves, because another year of great Myles Garrett play is not going to help you, because you're still going to win 4 games. You're still not going to have, you may have the quarterback of the future, but you're still going to be a bad ball club. So it's okay. And it's teams like that that don't do business, that don't understand reality, are teams that stay bad. That used to be us, Rio. We used
It
to be
did.
one of those bad teams that didn't understand what we had and didn't understand how to attack free agency and the offseason. Now we have Adam Peters, and I'm bringing it back home. Adam Peters is a guy that we have that knows how to attack roster building. And you saw it last year. His plan was getting guys on 1 to 2 short year deals, guys that he could mix well, and guys that understood about what we had in the building, what we wanted in the building. And
Culture setters. Yep.
and he got great character guys that was able to be there. Oh, and they just won 12 games, which was perfect, and get to the NFC Championship. That's all great. But you saw how at the end of the season, when the season was over, they didn't sit back and say, all right, well, we got all the pieces, let's just re-sign all these guys and try to run it back with that. No, you have to get better. You have to get better on the edge, offensive and defensive line, wide receiver, defensive back. You will have to add more pieces and retool. And having a quarterback on a rookie deal, you better be every year like this until you win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Because the goal is to maximize your winning opportunities with Jayden Daniels on this rookie deal. And as you can see, the league knows him now. He's not surprising anybody. He's not going to come out of nowhere. They're going to be there. They're going to expect him to play well, and they're going to be bringing it. And they're going to be mentioning us in Philly as one of the top teams in the NFC next year.
Yep. And Jayden, they all wishing on the downfall. Everybody's wishing on a
that
sophomore
sophomore
slump.
Yeah.
Everybody, oh, Washington's not going to be as good. It's not going to have 6 game winners next year. Yeah, okay. Y'all keep waiting on the slump and the downfall. Just like y'all got tape on us, he got tape on y'all too. And you're talking about year 2 of the Cliff Jayden combo. Might be the last year we see of it, man. And they going out on it with a bang if that's the case.
Did it? Myles take his quarterbacks? Yeah, but Myles probably knocked some sense into him. You can see Myles was better, so he kept him around. Who was that? Duck Hodges? Was that the quarterback name?
I want to say it was like Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it is.
I want to say it was like Mason Rudolph, you know?
He probably knocked some sense into him. That's why he out the league. He said, you know what? Maybe I should sell insurance, and he get out of the league.
My kind of guy, man.
You need that,
Myles Garrett. I would love to have Myles Garrett, man.
You need that. And Rio, to that point, man, we saw Max Crosby get extended today.
3 years, what, 106?
Crazy money, right? We need a guy like that. So I remember in the offseason, people were talking, it could possibly be Myles Garrett, could be Max Crosby. Who else is available at the edge position that we possibly would be able to take in free agency or make a trade for? Is it Hendrickson from Cincinnati? Is he?
He's not a free agent, but he's someone we would have to trade for. Yeah, another person we would have to go get via trade. We're looking at the draft class, unless you want to go drop a bag on a Josh Sweat. I like Josh Sweat. I don't like Josh Sweat for the amount of money I think he's going to get in free agency.
Yeah. So you think this overall might be like that year in the NBA where all those mid-level guys were getting max contract? You remember that? Like that's when like Mike Conley got like a ridiculous deal.
Everybody's getting $40 million,
and that goes back to the salary cap going up too. So they're gonna have to spend some of this money, but it's like it could be just that year where you may have to overpay for some guys because they're gonna look to fill these roles. I would love for them to be able to. I think they're gonna, regardless. I think they're gonna draft. If they make a move in free agency, they're gonna still draft some guys behind them. But I think, man, if you can add a true legit edge rusher like Myles Garrett, or before Max Crosby resigned, like a guy like him, or even Hendrickson, like, man, I would love for them to get that, because it seems like that's what this defensive line is missing, right? Even though we got gashed up the middle, you get somebody that can wreak havoc on the edge, bro. Like that changes the whole dynamic of your defense.
I would assume that it'll probably be in one of our first 2 picks of the draft, but I would at least like to see us shoot our shot and see if make Cleveland tell us no. We're going to see what the Bengals talking about. Check on a couple of these guys before we do so, but it's most likely going to be a mid-tier edge signing. There's some affordable guys in free agency. No one to write home about production wise, but there are some decent guys out there. But I assume it's going to come in the draft.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, Rio, man? And shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now to the afternoon kick as we go live for your drive. It's 5:30 p.m. on the East Coast, man. Honk your horns, man. Show us some love, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this page with a friend.
Mhm.
But you know what, Rio? The one thing I'm glad we don't have to talk about is quarterback.
Oh, yes, Lord.
For years, it's been okay. We're not high enough to draft the quarterback, game changing quarterback. Which bridge quarterback are we going to go with this year? None of that. A couple years
It's
ago,
so nasty,
it was
too.
Carson Wentz. A couple years ago, remember we had to trick ourselves into being excited about Carson Wentz.
Yeah, some
And
of the jersey swaps and quarterbacks I wanted here, like, I need forgiveness for it, man.
bro, and then no shade to my guy, the Tar Heel, but we had to get excited about having Sam here as the starter. And it was a failed mission. Granted, he threw for a lot of yards, but it was a failed mission. And
Mhm.
then Jayden Daniels came. Jayden Daniels came to
There
save the
goes
Washington Commanders.
my hero. Watch him as he
Came to save the Washington Commanders, and in 1 year, literally changed the complete dynamic of the franchise. Like literally. And Real, it's such a beautiful thing, man. Like I drive past the RFK site every day when I go into the office, and I just like, yo, in 5 years, I'm not gonna be able to drive my truck around here. Like it's gonna be
Mhm.
crazy. It's going to be an epic place to be. And the way Jayden played last year is setting us up to be winners for a long time, man. I mean, I know we haven't really talked about last year since last year, but overall, man, going into this off season, what did Jayden Daniels do for you as a fan? As like, give me your thoughts about how his overall performance last year, man, just changed your dynamic for you.
No, it changed everything for all of us. It changed lives, like literally. Yeah, he's Jayden Daniels playing football is good for your mental health. He's good for your soul. He's good for keeping families together. My son is now a diehard football fan because of Jayden Daniels. My son is arguing tooth and nail with his friends that like Bo Nix and other stuff. Man, everything about him on and off the field, he's everything we've imagined and dreamt about being our quarterback here for my entire life as a football fan. And it's such a beautiful and scary thought to think that that was the worst version we're ever going to see of him. So you mean to tell me I get to watch 5 play again and he's going to be better? Oh man. Get your engines running. It's why I'm chill about this. Like, we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna react in the moment, but I'm so
Yeah.
calm going into this draft and going into this off season because we not only have a quarterback and a coaching staff, we got a guy selecting players that knows what the hell he's doing. Bro, we're good. We're good, D.
Bro, that's amazing to think about, bro. Like literally, like and I also think that's why I haven't been as locked in as previously, like previous off
Mhm.
seasons, because quarterback has always been a position of need, and we always had to look and do it. But man, like the combine snuck up on me last week. Like I didn't even realize it was going. I was like, oh man, the combine's on. Let me sit down and
Because it's
watch for a
not
little
even
bit.
as excited, bro. These mock drafts aren't even as fun picking at 29. I don't even want the 29th pick. Go take us back to the second round. Let's add some more on day 2 and day 3. I don't even care.
It's like, bruh, this is what good teams do. This is how good teams have to prepare all year. And shout out to my pops for leaving this comment. JD5 gave hope and allowed the youngsters the privilege of seeing
Mhm.
excellence again. Yeah, shout out to you, Dad. You
Shout out,
really
Pops.
said that.
Shout out, Pops.
But yeah, man, it's like I'm not even as locked in as I used to be because normally you like, all right, top 5, man. We could go edge, we could go
Mhm.
quarterback, da 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 da. And like now it's like 29. Okay. All right, we're gonna trade out of this and get some more picks, like you said, or who we gonna draft? Like what it's just different, man. Like it's just
Yo,
different. I love this, man.
you know how good it feels that we don't have to talk ourselves into Jackson Dart.
Oh my God. Man, I don't know. I seen a couple games against Southern Miss and Jackson Dart, man. I don't know, man. I don't know that guy. The way he throws the ball, man. He had this one play, da 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 da, or
Hey,
going. Or,
Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold. I mean, he only gonna cost about 30 mil a year. Oh my god, I'm so happy that we don't have to like have fun with that, New York Giants fan.
bruh, we would have been in the Matt Stafford sweepstakes if they didn't bring him back. We would have.
Rogers.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Kirk.
Oh, we definitely would have. Oh my gosh, bruh. Can you imagine trying to convince ourselves? Yeah, 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's him. Terry done caught passes from everybody else. This would be the best quarterback he done kept passes from, bro.
Hey, Rodgers could be the bridge for Jackson. What's your door? Nasty.
Man, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Like, I'm not even prepared to like get into that, bro. I'm so glad we don't have to talk about that, dog. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad. And Jayden really in one season turned the whole narrative around. And this, now I think about it, I can't even believe that it was even a thought to draft anyone else. I can't even believe that people were like,
And I
really
was,
going,
I was, I was team. Give me Mayor Daniels. I'm not even
yeah.
gonna hold you. I was totally fine with us taking one either way. But boy, did Jayden's rookie year say to everyone who even thought about another person was wrong.
Like, bro, you were wrong. Like, just think about it.
Mhm.
If you had thought
Very.
about anything other than Jayden Daniels, it was wrong. Imagine,
Mhm.
and then the Bears, like, if you're the Bears, like, you still, like, of course, hindsight being 2020, right? You still have to draft Caleb Williams #1 last year
Mhm.
if you're the Bears, right?
And Caleb wasn't even terrible. That's the crazy part, man.
Right,
Caleb had a pretty good rookie year. It's just masked behind so much badness, just so much badness.
terrible,
We broke their season.
bruh. That was so good though. I love that, bro.
Mhm.
I now have added the Bears to my list of hate. Like the Eagles are there. I don't even hate Dallas anymore. I feel sorry for Dallas now.
Yeah, Chicago can replace Dallas.
I feel bad for Dallas because they're not gonna do anything till Jerry Jones is gone, and he is not leaving. So they're just gonna have to deal with it. Like in this, and I'm watching it. I'm like, dang, we used to be like that. We used to be that franchise, but Dan finally got out of the way. It's gonna be a scandal for you, Cowboy fans. You have to have a scandal come out of nowhere and force Jerry to sell. But I'll tell you this, he'll never sell. That's the only way. But shout out to the Bears, man. Shout out to the
Mhm.
Bears for now adding to the list. And we get them next year again, right? Yeah, we do play them
Yeah, we
next year.
do. We do get them home again. They're making moves, man. They traded for a lineman last week, Jackson from the Rams, and they traded for Joe Thuney from the Chiefs today. So they're getting a little. They're trying to build a fortress around Caleb because that boy was fighting for his life in that pocket last year.
Don't build quarterbacks SDR. He was a deer in headlights, held on to the ball too long. Hey,
Mm.
it happens, man. When you have a turnstile in front of you blocking, as we saw the year before with Sam, you really, hold on. You really are seeing ghosts out there, man. But I think Caleb's gonna have a good career. But I
Hey,
think
22 and 5 TD to interception ratio as a rookie behind that offensive line ain't something to scoff at. So I give credit where it's due. He was on that Sam Howell processing clock speed, but Ben Johnson gonna speed that up.
and now you look at like if you look at the comparison between him and Jayden, right? Jayden just played like bruh, he's just too calm. Like he's just
Like a
too
vet.
cool.
He wasn't a
Like
rookie
dog,
last year.
he was playing like a 5-6 year veteran. Now people are mentioning him in the top 10 of quarterbacks as high as top 6. I've seen people reasonably mention him and like logically, you said 5? So who?
After the top four, who we all know who the top four is, bruh, Jaden,
Pat, Lamar, Burrow,
Burrow,
and
Allen.
Josh Allen?
I feel
Yeah.
like there's no one replacing that just yet. That it's
Yeah.
them four, and then you make up who's number 5 and beyond. Why not Jayden Daniels at number 5? If you want to put a more accomplished guy there, like a Matt Stafford, but he's not as dynamic as our guy. I'm starting the conversation at Jayden at 5, and I mean it.
Hey, that's his number that he wears. So I'm with it, man. I'm fiending for free agency. I got the shakes. All right,
Monday.
Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, if you can reach out to me. I have someone you can see for those shakes. No, I'm joking. Free agency is starting soon, man. All right. So we talked about Jayden. We talked about how he did for us last year. Free agency is starting on Monday. Is there anybody that you have your eye on in free agency that you think we should attack and really go hard after and trying to acquire this offseason?
I think we should open up free agency with cornerback Charvarius Mooney Ward from the San Francisco 49ers for on and off the field reasons, but mostly on. We could use another 6-foot cornerback with ball skills. He would probably come in as the best corner on the team. Him and Marshawn on the outside, Mikey on the inside. You shore up that room and don't necessarily have to draft one in your first 3 picks because we got to make our first 3 picks count because after that 3rd round pick, we don't pick again to like 197. So
Yeah.
we're we're
That
going from like we're going from like 70 something to like 190 something. So we got to make them count.
that free agency pickup has to be key. and you look at a guy like Ward, right? You get truly a good 3 cornerback rotation where you can interchange Mikey inside and outside, and playing it wherever, because he really proved to be a utility guy last year at corner, where people thought he was going to be a slot corner, and he played on the outside last year and played very well. I think being able to have that versatility on the inside and outside would be perfect. I think cornerback is definitely something that you have to address, because overall at the hot spots, man, granted, we played well in certain situations, but you look at where we did play bad, up the middle run defense. Some of our pass coverage was suspect. So I definitely see them going after more defensive linemen the same way they had. What was it? They had like 6 new free agent defensive linemen last year. So
Yep.
I definitely see them going after that. But you got to get better, man. I think defense definitely. I feel like offense through the draft, defense through free agency to help build. Would you agree with that? Possibly.
I think it depends. Like, it's very subjective. I don't like to go into these things. Like, when you don't need a quarterback, like, I don't like to go into these things with a fixed mindset. It's a combination of both. And
Because it
I
could be
trust,
anything, right?
yeah, it depends on how these things go and fly off the board and what's available to you and how the beginning of the draft plays out. But we can get a combination of things done in free agency and the draft. People forget, bro, we got like 20 something. We got over 25 impending free agents. We have to sign players. So
Yeah,
players
like,
will get signed on both sides of the ball.
bro, like it's crazy. I think I looked at it last week.
Like 27.
Yeah, I had an appearance on 14 Rings. Shout out to Lucas and them over there, man.
Hey, shout out to them.
Had an appearance, and it was like I think I saw 29. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
29 free
it was
agents
20.
that we
Yeah.
had, bro. 28, 29, whatever. It's still a lot. You know what I'm saying? So the same way we retooled last year through free agency, I still think we may have some 1 or 2 year guys, but I think you might see more longer term guys sign. So like maybe some 3 year deals, maybe some more. I think maybe see more long-term signings versus the 1 to 2 year stop gaps, right? So I think you may sign some guys like 2 and 3, like 3 and 4 year deals, maybe in free agency, and then the rest is going to be through the draft. I still think they're going to use somebody and get some more draft picks this year. And why not, man? Peters does very well with the draft. So I definitely see them attacking free agency like they did last year and attacking this draft, Rio. 5:42 p.m. on the East Coast. You're watching the afternoon kick as we go live for your drive. My name is Darian DH Williams, my partner in crime, Rio Robinson. Of course, if you're watching right now, just
like and subscribe,
Already
please.
know. Up to
make
my channel, man.
right.
Subscribe.
Make sure you do that. Let's keep this going. And Rio, man, you know it's crazy, man. I'm learning in these YouTube streets, man. We have not done a video since I've been able to be monetized, right? And of course, I get a copyright strike from another video that I was on that I had shared to the page. So the first actual video where I can actually get monetized, they're like, nope, not yet. So I had to.
What did they copyright you for?
They said, well, the other page that I was on is not monetized, but it was their intro that they used. So I hit them up and told them about it, and we talked about it. So I did a YouTube video. I didn't even know that's how the appeal process went. I was
You
like,
gotta fight it. Always get a human review, and you could trim your way around it. There's always a ways to fight. Trust me, I get hit with it all the time, even for nonsense that I shouldn't be get hit for. The YouTube, they don't play.
I was like, hello, YouTube. My name is Darian, and I'm the host of the Breaking Command Entertainment YouTube page. I would love for you to restore my page back to normal standing. I've finally been able to be monetized with YouTube, and I would love to continue our partnership. However, please remove, like, bruh, help me. We worked all off season to get to this point, and now they're taking it away. So that's why you fans have to like and subscribe and keep sharing. Yeah, you're right, Paul. Got to be careful.
They've wrongly hit you with tags too. That's why you always got to fight them, because trust me, this channel, I've been hit with some stuff that I should not have been hit with before. Like, listen, if you're gonna get me for something that
I'm legit.
Yeah, like when I run some highlights or I run a song or something on there. Don't hit me for something that I had nothing to do with.
I'm like, dog. So it's okay. We're working through it. But the only way to continue to do it is keep sending those numbers up. And trust me, there's gonna be a whole lot of content on this page. So I want you to always like, subscribe, and share, man. So we really appreciate it. And everybody that stuck around, man. Rio, I was concerned that, you know, by us not doing the show for like maybe a month, that maybe people will be like, this was a good for the season. Now we're
Folks
done,
starving. Folks starving in these streets, man.
man.
Streets got to get fed.
Man, I love that for us, man. I love. I'm and I mean I wanted to mention this to you, man. Why are we gonna be on Hard Knocks at some point this year, dog?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it,
I think
man.
it might be the division thing, maybe.
Oh, I'm cool. Hey, the what was it, the end season joint was all
Yeah,
14. What better division to follow? I want to see us singularly on there for the summer version. I
yeah.
would love that. But
I think it. I mean, because I know they, they're using Carolina for the off-season one that I read. They're using the Tar Heels for that because they said
it
this.
was I heard Belichick said, "Nah, I'm cool." I
Oh, he
heard
did.
yeah, I think there might be no more offseason hard knock. I think the Giants, that 1 year where we got to look a little bit too far behind the curtain, they might have deaded it because I heard Bill and the Tar Heels were like, nah, we're not trying to do
Do
that.
you think they went too far behind the curtain, man? I don't think they showed
I
too much.
loved it. As a fan, I loved it. I
Yeah.
think if I was a front office member of an organization, yes, you don't need to see our draft board. You don't need to see our free agent board. You don't need to see us having honest conversation about how we feel about guys. They gave us a little bit too close of a view behind how the sausage was made. As an executive, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare because we watched them play mental gymnastics over this Saquon
That's
situation,
crazy,
and
bro.
a lot of folks look crazy in 4K right now. So yeah, we loved it. Never gonna see it again, probably.
They definitely botched that, bro. They definitely botched the Saquon thing, and hey, more power to them. But I think I kind of understand where they were coming from with that because I don't even think they thought they were gonna win. Like I don't think they thought they was gonna be good.
Nah.
And you think you have Saquon last year on the Giants, they still don't do anything because the quarterback position was trash. You know what I'm saying? So they may have been able to get out while they could, but that goes back to the thing. They was able to get nothing for him. So you completely lose out of the Saquon sweepstakes. And he went to Philly. He went to a rival. Didn't even really have to move probably, and went to
No,
them
I
and
I
played well.
wore off-season hard knocks. That shit was good. You know how exciting it would be to see Lance Newmarket, Adam Peters, and them sitting around talking about impending free agents and league-wide free agents like we're talking right now. Like I've never seen that before. They're sitting around talking about quarterbacks and stuff like we talk about quarterbacks.
Bruh, or they show them at the combine talking. We about to get Deebo, right? What man? We talking about, man?
Hey,
We about
hey,
they're gonna
hey,
drop it
we
later on
got
today.
hey, we got Deebo on the hook, guys. What y'all think?
Hey, or he'd be like, bro, check your phone. Like, what's this? Why you send me a picture dude, Deebo riding up to Craig house? What's up, Craig? I'm just gonna tuck mine in. Who coming? Deebo. I'm like, so dog, like that would be perfect for us. But I think you know what? But I said all that to say that I think the Commanders are going to be featured in so many different things coming up this year because we're now the media darlings of the league. People have said nothing but glowing things. Everybody loves Jayden Daniels. They love his work ethic and ability. They are going to put the Commanders on everything that they can next year to kind of see us up close and personal. It doesn't hurt that Dan Quinn is also great with the media. He's a great motivator. He's not a curmudgeon. He willingly talked to everybody. He's a nice guy. Adam Peters says and does all the right things. Josh Harris is a good owner. He says and does all the right things. We got the stadium
He's
thing
not an
coming up.
not an F- guy, man. We are now a B+ guys over here.
Crazy how 1 year, bro. The food tastes better when you go to the NFC Championship, bro. You get a pool table in there. Everything is so much better. Like, it's crazy, bro. Winning will do that to you, bro. And I even remember remember we talked about the jersey stuff, man. We talked offline because we didn't have a show. We talked about the jersey stuff. And it's now getting to the fact that we've won and now they want to fight over something. So they'll fight over the jersey thing because you don't have to fight over football anymore. You don't. You don't even have to talk about it.
Still
So
fighting for their lives about the name that ain't going nowhere.
bruh, I really be like, bruh, y'all better just get rid of that because that's not going nowhere, dog. Like literally, Paul, you flipped everything around in 1 year. This is when you look in the history books and they go and say, hey, how do I turn a franchise around? You're gonna look at the 2024 Washington Commanders.
It's us because we go from the ownership down to every player on the roster different.
We are the architect. We are the the exact meaning of how you do it.
The
They're gonna
model.
follow this. Yes, there you
Mhm,
go. We are the model. They're gonna follow this
mhm.
to a T and say this is how it's done. So, as fans, bro, I love that for us, man, because we're reaping the benefits. And needless to say, I am super excited about this season. Rio, before we get out of here, man, some things coming down the pipeline. We got the draft coming up soon. We got OTAs and everything will open up. What is something that you want to see the Commanders do this offseason, whether it's getting the stadium deal done, whether it's bringing in a big time player, whether it's something like what is something that you want to see this summer
Oh
as the
man,
Commanders prepare for the 2025 season?
I'm telling you, man, them renderings of a new stadium gonna hit like 80s crack. They're gonna hit like 80s crack. Like when I
Man, like,
see Washington, like 90-minute video come out, Washington's plans for its new DC stadium, whew, it's gonna hit differently. But
bro.
I'm gonna stick to football with this one.
Okay.
I want us to come out of this draft with a running back one, with a
Yeah.
starting running back. And there are quite a few ways you can attack it here. Earlier, middle, later. There are a bunch of guys. I need us to come out with a starting running back of some sort. And to that, if you had to pick one guy today who you feel like is going to be the guy we go with at running back as of March 5th, who's it going to be? I think we come away with Quinshawn Judkins on day 2 of the draft.
Ooh, well, you know who I would love to have.
Your boy.
Yeah, that too. But no, I'm gonna get to, that's who I'm gonna answer. But I would love to have Genty, but we can't get to him because he's gonna be
Mhm.
drafted way before. So I
Yeah.
think we end up with Omari and Hampton, bro.
I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. I feel like, fam, Piper got him going as early as 12.
Man. So that means we have to move around. We have to move up. And shout out, and I will say this, man. Shout out to Saquon, who I think he brought the value back to the running back position. Like
Yep.
he got a re-up deal, and you bring the
20.
value back to the position and saying, hey, look, these guys are valuable. These guys need to be paid well, and these guys who were once the belle of the ball in the NFL with Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders,
Mhm.
even on up to Adrian Peterson, guys like that, they were the belle of the ball. You have to have a good, solid running back in this league if you want to win, and you have to have an explosive running back. So I
Yep.
think Saquon has kind of brought the energy back to the running back position that teams are now going to go get them. Teams need running backs. They're going to go get them. But yes, I would love for us to be able to leave with the Tar Heel and get Omari and Hampton, bro.
I would
I
love
would
it.
love that.
That's my favorite running back in this class. I love him. I would love to have him. I'm starting to see that he's going before we pick.
Yeah,
He's going before we pick. And I think we have a decision to make of when and who we want out of the Ohio State backfield, plus a couple other guys. But I would be happy as long as we come away with something at the running back position before that draft is over. But I'm sticking with Quinshawn Judkins, man. I think he's going to be a phenomenal NFL running back.
definitely wouldn't be a problem with that. Would love to see that too, man. I think for this 2025 offseason, I think, like you said, going along the lines with the renderings, right? But I think once they finally have that press conference where Muriel Bowser and Josh Harris are standing up there saying the Washington Commanders are coming back to DC,
Woo! And
and
it's getting
then
close. It's
and
getting close.
then you have that press conference, and then you get the picture, right? You get the hard hat with the shovel, and they go and dig that one piece of dirt up
Mm-hmm.
and break ground.
We're breaking ground on a new stadium. Celebrate.
Come out there, let Josh Harris come out with the proverbial when they demolished RFK, come out with the proverbial hammer, and the process has begun, bro. Like,
Demolition. Let's go.
I love it, man. So many things are happening for us. And Rio,
So.
who you had to endure many years of non-winning, you now can see it. Many of us, the last time that they won, we were kids. Now we're adults and we're fully enjoying it. And it's only great things to come, Rio. Only
Only
great
great.
things to come.
Yep.
And as the great things continue to come, every Wednesday at 5 p.m., you can catch Rio Robinson and myself, Darian DH Williams, on the afternoon kick. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe and share with a friend. And we appreciate you locking in. Listen up. You leveled up. You're now with the afternoon kick. So you're locked in. So we'll catch you on the next episode of the afternoon
Yes,
kick.
sir.
Again, Darian DH Williams, Rio Robinson. Check us out, man. Peace and love to everybody.
Yes,
Let's go,
sir.
Commanders.
And welcome to DC, Deebo Samuel. Let's get active.
Deebo. That's my
I got
bike, bro.